Good morning, and welcome to the Penn 15 News.
I'm Chase Rothy,
And I'm Ryan Kavanaugh.
and today we will be talking about youth concussions and how we really need to step up the safety. We're alive at 6:09 p.m.
Throughout recent history, children and teens have been getting concussed in sports due to a lack of precaution and safety measures.
You couldn't be more correct, Ryan. In fact, 33% of high school students report one or more concussions in the same year. Come on, America.
Chase, this has got to be a joke.
I couldn't be more serious.
This is a disgrace. Children who suffer a traumatic brain injury are less likely to do good at school and at an increased risk of early death. If we do nothing to help these children, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse.
And for your benefit, Ryan and I are going to give you an overview on concussions as a whole.
This is for you people. By definition, a concussion is a traumatic brain injury caused by a bump, blow, or jolt to the head or a hit to the body that causes the head and brain to move rapidly back and forth.
The majority of sports-related concussions happen in football, cycling, golf, hockey, baseball, basketball, and lacrosse, in no particular order.
Some symptoms of concussion could be a headache, dizziness, vomiting, nausea, amnesia, sluggishness, and in severe cases, a loss of consciousness. If you're experiencing some of these symptoms,
stop it. Get some help.
It is highly suggested that you see a doctor as soon as possible.
There are also multiple levels of concussions, ranging from grade 1 to 3. Grade 1 being a slight dizziness, nice jolt to the head. Second, a little more severe. And third, including loss of consciousness and even loss of memory.
There are different parts of the brain that are affected when you get concussion. Damage to the frontal lobe would affect your concentration and organizing skills, while damage to the temporal lobe would affect your auditory processing and mood regulation.
Damage to the occipital lobe and parietal lobe, however, damage a person's senses, such as their ability to hear, see, smell, and other things of that nature.
And now, we will tell you how to treat a concussion if you are so unfortunate to have gotten one.
Indeed. First off, it is most important to rest. Also, it's also very important to regulate other activities such as texting, driving, schoolwork, video games, and other screen activities.
It is crucial for recovery that you avoid those activities. Doctors will begin to notify you once your symptoms have started improving.
It is important to know that to avoid these concussions as a whole, you can just not do sports. Most people, however, don't want to freaking hear that. Most athletes today would like to continue playing their sports, so it is important to find alternate ways to prevent them.
Custom-fitted mouthguards decrease sports-related concussions by 60% compared to generic brands, so it's suggested that you buy a custom-fit mouthguard. Also, in sports that require a helmet, it is suggested that you buy the best and safest one on the market. No price is too high when it concerns preventing a life-ending injury.
Knowing this, some companies have started to develop technologies to help reduce the risk of concussions. For example, the Vice's Zero One helmet, a new helmet that folds and contracts to help absorb impact, is now being released to players today. Let's check it out.
Angle tackles when I got smacked, especially going head across, I felt that buckle, felt that kind of my hips fall out from under me. I put on the 0-1 and was able to stand my ground even against bigger guys. Impact situations specifically, you can feel it for sure. It's a lot softer, it's a lot quieter. It definitely, the process of absorbing, you can feel that.
More of like a cushion blow when we went kind of head-to-head contact, that head-to-head collision. You could tell on the inside it was a lot quieter, so you were able to kind of react quicker.
Vice's hands down, dude. Like, one of them, I definitely got my bell rung a little bit. I was with Mike, And like once I switched back to the Vices and I stuck with that one, like I didn't really have a problem with that anymore.
Whenever you go into contact, it's almost like you're kind of bracing for impact. You don't know what you're going to get. But with Vices, the Vices helmet, it was a lot kind of just like, oh, that was it.
Pretty good looking helmet, right? Seemed like it would reduce the risk of a concussion. Well, it wasn't available for Josh Cribbs. Josh Cribbs played for the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, and the Indianapolis Colts. However, due to multiple concussions, he was forced to end his career early and retire.
In fact, a scan was taken of Josh Cribbs' brain after he retired, and it revealed that he had the brain similar of a 52-year-old. The man's 32. Come on!
Joining me to talk about concussions is 30-year-long nurse Kelly Cavanaugh. She's been in the ICU for 25 years and been a part of the trauma unit for 8 years. Kelly, what are some of the short and long-term effects of concussions?
Well, some common short-term effects of concussions are either a loss of consciousness. You can have that. You can have a concussion without losing consciousness. And people call that getting your bell rung. You can be sensitive to light. That's called photosensitivity. You can feel like you're a little, you can feel dizzy or lightheaded, but sometimes you just feel confused. You can't figure out the answers in school quite as often as you did before. You get headaches that you didn't have before. And a lot of times you feel better in just a dark, quiet room, as opposed to you can't take the stimulation very well.
Do you think that equipment should be modified in sports to reduce the risk of concussions?
Yes, I do think it should be modified, but I think a lot of programs are already modifying their helmets and other gear to prevent concussions. It's pretty well known in athletic communities.
Why is it important to tell your parents when you have concussion symptoms?
Because concussions, if they're not treated, and you end up getting another concussion on top of the previous concussion, that can be lethal.
How should we raise awareness of concussions?
I think they're doing a good job of raising awareness of concussions. They have impact testing at the schools. All the kids are aware of that who are in athletics. I would think the one thing, as far as kids hiding their concussive symptoms, if they tell their friends that they're having issues with how they think, or if they're sensitive to light, things hurt their head, they're having a lot of headaches, and their friends know that they've recently hit their head at something in sports, then they should first ask their friend who hit their head, encourage them to talk to their parents, and if they don't, somehow get it out there that they need to be seen by a doctor, either the school nurse, or I would just say encourage the friend to tell the friend they think they have the concussion to talk to their parents.
Lastly, how important is it to follow doctor's instructions when being treated for a concussion?
It's very important, because when you have a concussion, the more of the instructions that you follow from the doctor, that's going to help your brain to heal. It's like a bruise on your brain. So if you follow the instructions from the doctor, the better chance you have of healing faster and more completely than if you didn't.
Thanks for joining me today, Kelly.
You're welcome, Ryan.
Have a good day. To all players and parents, please be cautious about the possible effects that concussions have on people. Buy the most protective and safe equipment you can. The consequences can be absolutely awful. Stay safe.
Thank you for tuning in to Penn 15 Nightly News. Have a great evening.